A specter has long haunted the Warrior Cats fandom. Its presence looms everywhere, on Tumblr, on Discord servers, on the old Warrior Cat RP forums. That specter has to be shipping. It feels like shipping in fandoms tend to be the root of all evil. You may think I'm exaggerating, but you've never seen the Voltron fandom if so. It's no secret that shipping in Warrior Cats can get a little bit complicated. Everyone has their own interpretation of the text, and sometimes the text is clear and the ships are just plain bad. There are 4 reasons that ships tend to be considered bad. Number 1, bad chemistry, where the Aarons wrote characters together for the sake of them being together, such as Doranclaw and Blossomfall. Number 2, they are straight up toxic. Sometimes this is a plot point, sometimes this is an elephant in the room situation like Brambleflight. The next 2 are the taboos. Age gaps is an especially sensitive thing in the fandom with so many readers being minors. The second one is incest, which seems to be very unavoidable in the series where cats are restricted to dating within their own clans. Strangely enough, some degrees of incest seem to be more acceptable than others. Today, I'm going to be covering the taboos and arguments surrounding both of them. Before we get started, if you are new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I regularly post both Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats content, so you'll never be bored. And to my current subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. And now, some disclaimers. This video will primarily talk about canon ships and not fandom ones, so no FernIvy etc. in here. I have my reasons, and that reason involves an 100+ comment long thread on my old channel I'd rather not have repeated. While writing this video, I listened to a lot of other people's opinions and had my own opinion changed, so I'm certainly open to new perspectives. Please, for the love of God, do not fight in the comment section. I do not like to remove comments. I've only had to like 5 times because the comments contain slurs, so the bar is pretty low. Just be civil. Breathe and remember that there is another person behind the keyboard who likely ate lunch today just like you, not an alien or a robot. Or if you didn't eat lunch today, I mean, ate dinner today? If you didn't eat dinner, like had a snack, ate candy? I don't know. Without further ado, let's dive deep into the cesspool of Warrior Cat shipping. Our first aspect of ship controversy are age gaps. A large number of ships in Warrior Cats have age gaps. This is because there are not a whole lot of cats in the clans, and most cats in a clan only date in their own clan. There are limited options, so most of the time cats date outside their own age groups. Most of the time, this isn't that bad. Warrior Cat's aging makes it so any cat around 2 to 7 have the same maturity most of the time. Yes, I specify Warrior Cat aging and not actual cat aging. In the Warrior Cat series, the aging of cats is not comparable to real cats for purposes of pacing the novels. An example of this is that cats in real life are sexually mature at 6 moons and can have kits. However, that never happens in the series, and kits of that age tend to be far from mature and are just becoming apprentices. Kits tend to be around the human ages of 1 to 12. Warrior apprentices are 12 to 18, and medicine cat apprentices 12 to 21. Warriors and medicine cats have a pretty broad age range, but tend to retire around 60 to 70. This was just my explaining of the concept, but Moonkitty did a 10 times better job explaining in her video that cats are just people. Because of this humanization of cat ages and morality, it makes it hard for a reader to look over age gaps. It's easy to point out one age is twice the age of the other one, which is not something we like to see in real life. I don't feel like the numbers are the problem here, it's the power between the two involved, the maturity of both partners, and the context of their relationship. If the older cat interacted with the other constantly since they were a kid, like Thistleclaw, it's safe to say it was grooming, but in a tight-knit clan, interactions with fellow clanmates including kits are so common that of course they would have interacted at some point. For this reason, a lot of cross-clan ships with age gaps tend to be ignored, because the older cat never interacted with the younger one as a kit. There are 2 ships that operate like this, Feathertail and Crowfeather, and Dovepaw and Tigerheart. So, maybe the most definitive way to tell if it's a problem when 2 cats are in the same clan is when the 2 cats become attracted to one another. Doranclaw and Blossomfall have an obvious age gap, however didn't start dating until well after the 2 of them became adults. The problem of age gaps and experience gaps can also be exacerbated by the power that the older person has from being around longer. The biggest example of this has to be Pinestar and Leopardfoot. Pinestar is actually older than both of Leopardfoot's parents. He also was likely down to only 2 lives when they became cat married, and I've heard some sources say that he was on 2 lives when she was born. There are also mentor apprenticeships such as Dustpaw and Fernpaw. These cats know each other very personally, even closer than student and teacher, as they are together for not just an hour like school, but for most of the day. They also happen to be related. Correct me if I'm mistaken, but Dustpelt is Fernpaw's uncle. However, this relationship is often excused because it was in the first arc, before the cats became as humanized as they are right now, back when we had stuff like sharing tongues and going to the moonpool, or moonstone, with apprentices. In addition, sometimes the age gaps in ships aren't even solid. The errands are notoriously finicky when it comes to ages in the series. Sometimes cat ages can be retconned. Even a 3's age isn't what it's supposed to be because the errands forgot how long cat pregnancies last for. In some situations, they aren't even confirmed at all. I said I wasn't going to bring up non-canon ships, but here I am because the situation actually happened a bit back. Ravenwing and Birchface's ages are never confirmed in canon. However, when people shipped them, they were told it was a problematic age gap ship. The reasoning behind this one was that Ravenwing was described as being a young healer, and Birchface was at least old enough to have an apprentice. However, younger cats have been given apprentices before. See Fireheart, Greystripe, and Twigbranch. But neither of their ages are official in the end. Why would they be? They are both side characters in a novella, a side book. They aren't important enough to have any official one. In the end, it's dumb to get upset over something that isn't canon. Bad age gaps don't always have to be a bad thing, as long as you're not shipping them. This may sound weird, but let me explain. Warrior cats can be the introduction of a child to serious topics, like geopolitics. Warrior cats could show an age gap relationship and demonstrate it is bad and how to deal with that situation if you ever fall into one to warn children. I feel like that is what the errands were aiming for with Spodleaf's heart, however we all know how that turned out. The book seemed to make it look like Thistleclaw's cardinal sin was not grooming Spotted Paw but instead training in cat hell. It could have been a good teaching opportunity, but it wasn't. The next section pretty much has no positives and won't teach children anything about life. Unless you live in Alabama. Okay, it's incest time. Before we get into our section, I feel like it is important to define some terms. So here I have a chart of what degree each cousin is, and also their genetic differences. This genetic difference rating may be different in cats, as this chart is designed for humans. Here are some ships you may recognize in their designation. First cousins are cats like Snowbush and Lilyheart, who are 12% DNA sameness. Second cousins include cats such as Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight. I know, I was shocked when I first heard that too. It may have been retconned by now, I don't know. Who are 3.125% DNA sameness. Third cousins are Fernsong and Ivypool, who share 0.78% DNA sameness. Fourth cousins are, I actually couldn't remember any ships in this category, but you get the point. The concept of family itself in warrior cats, outside of genetic similarities, has changed over time. In the first arc, fathers were often kept anonymous to the kits and the rest of the clan. Some of these mysterious cats have been revealed over the years, and then retcons out of being revealed though. In the arcs following, cats seem to have more of a stable family structure. A mother, a father, and their 2 to 3 kits because even though cats can have up to 11 kits, somehow that has never happened in warrior cats. I feel like the most cats we've ever gotten in litter was 6. Outside the parents, uncles, cousins, and siblings, families aren't brought up a whole bunch in warrior cats. The only exception to this is plot-related bloodlines such as Firestar and Tigerstars, which just makes it even more awkward when there's incest in their line such as FernIvy, who are third cousins. Because of this distinction between the closer and broader family, ships of broader relationship are often justified by the fact they haven't met before or interacted under the context of cousins. This is more often than true than not true. The only second cousins I can think of who are close are Holly, Lion, Jay, Ivy, and Dove, but that once again falls under the Firestar rule. I feel like this defense is pretty solid, especially when first cousin relationships are rare, and cats have limited dating options because up until the most recent arc, cats could only date within their own clan, which obviously would lead to copious amounts of incest. As shown on the chart, there are a lot of different variations in DNA, which would make it possible for cats who are related to have children who are not terribly inbred. It can also take a pretty long history of inbreeding to cause problems in cats, according to a few research documents I read, however I might be wrong. There is also the problem of adoption. Some people say that because they are not genetically related, then shipping adopted siblings or cousins like Flametail and Jayfeather should be fine. However, adoption does not make the bond between family any less valid, and the entire argument for further distant relation incest in warrior cats is that they do not have a bond. Also, in the case of that ship in particular, the two met and socialized for a full book as cousins, so it can't be argued that they never formed a relationship in the context of each other being cousins, and hence could date without any lingering connection. Just like age gaps, relationships in warrior cats are often not cemented, especially first arc ones where the kids were not confirmed to have fathers for years later, one of which was revealed to be a sibling of the mother. That has since been retconned. A while ago, I actually made a poll surrounding opinions on acceptability of incest. I asked where they would draw the line on cousins and relationships, and attached a graph explaining the levels of incest that you saw in the video. I had all the way from fourth cousins to just regular cousins. I did not put in drawing the line at siblings because I forgot just how many first cousin ships warriors had. Also did not put in no lines because I thought no one would choose it. Twitter also has a limit on the amount of options per poll. I only got the opinions of 35 people, so the results may be a bit skewed due to a smaller sample size. But anyways, the results were as follows. First cousin drawing the line at that, 35.5. Second cousin, 38.7. Third cousin, 18.1. And finally, fourth cousins at 9.7. What I find interesting about these results are Fernsong and Ivy Pool are third cousins, and only about 25% people draw the line at third cousins or above. Despite that, it tends to be one of the ships most pointed out for incest. This may be because, as mentioned earlier, they are from the Firestar family, which tends to be pointed out as being more closely related than other cat families. So, what do these results mean for warrior cat incest shipping? Well, it means that the majority of the fandom is okay with inbreeding until it reaches the level of first to second cousin, who had a total of 74% disliking the poll. So when it comes to publicly declaring your love of ships, make sure they aren't first or second cousins first. Other than that, feel free to go wild with cousins. I highly doubt people want to see your sibling or aunt shipping. That is the end of the video. I hope I never have to say the word incest as much as I did during this, but who knows. Just a disclaimer to please be nice in the comments section and not attack anyone over what they ship. I rarely delete comment threads, however this comment section gets violent enough, I will not hesitate. These are just my opinions, you do not need to share them. I appreciate you listening to the end of the video, even if you disagree with my opinions, because that means you had to sit through not just my annoying opinions, but also my annoying voice. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I make Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats content pretty often, and your support would mean a lot to me. And to those who are already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Peace out.